Now, having worked... Now, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. Now, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. And that, my friends, is going to be it for my series on restoring 1940s electrostatic TVs. So why didn't I go into talking about the IF circuit, the detector circuit, the video amp, the audio circuits? Because they're the same as a magnetically deflected TV. I wanted to focus on the differences and what is peculiar about these sets that use these electrostatic CRTs like you'd find in an oscilloscope. Now, I focus mostly on an Admiral 19A1 or 17T1 chassis because I happen to be working on one. I've also been working on a Motorola TS18 chassis, which you'll be seeing in a series I will be posting shortly, because those are the two most common. However, I've done restorations on many other types: Hallicrafters, Mech, Sentinel, Emerson. I'll provide links in the description to some of my series on those, but they all have the same fundamental circuits. They have an RF high voltage supply, they have high voltage coupling caps, they have sawtooth deflection circuits. Just some minor differences in how they do it. Now, some final words. Having worked on 50 plus of these over the years, I've drawn some conclusions. For starters, I often see them recommended as a good set for beginners. And there's some merit to that. They're small, they're lightweight, they can be shipped. Motorola Admirals, you should be able to get a unrestored, restorable one for less than $100 without too much trouble. Service info's out there. Plenty of other people have worked on them. There's plenty of other articles and YouTube videos besides my own on how to get them running. But I warn you, they can get expensive. Those high voltage caps, if you want the axial ones, expect to be paying $50+ for those. Some of the tubes can be a little more expensive or a little bit harder to find, like the 12SN7. Some parts, like the RF high voltage coil, if that's bad on a less common model, you're going to have a really hard time finding a replacement. But at least it's possible to substitute a modern DC to DC high voltage supply. And in some cases you might want to, because some models suffer a problem known as high voltage fade, where as the set warms up, because of some design flaws, various theories floating out there as to what actually happens, but the high voltage drops off as the set warms up. Some people leave the back off, have a fan blowing on them. I've tried various things to combat that, which gets back to my point about them. They can be expensive, they can be finicky. The performance isn't that great, and after all your hard work and effort and you get it working, if you're thinking you're going to flip it and make a lot of money, no. Especially the more common models, they don't, even fully restored and beautiful, they don't have a tremendous amount of value. I think the value you're going to find is in finding one and getting it to work. So I don't mean to discourage you by any means. The first set I ever got working was a Motorola TS4 chassis. So I have a certain soft spot for them. Just be prepared that they're different. Like for the Motorola's, you're going to have to build a ballast, and other models use ballast too of different types. And they're a little different than magnetically deflected sets, which honestly, in hindsight, I think are a little easier sometimes. If you watch my beginner series on magnetically deflected sets, you see what that's all about. But yes, they're bigger, they're heavier, they're more complicated generally, so you know, there's trade-offs like with many things in life. So, if I haven't completely discouraged you, by all means, if you're at all interested in this, go out and find one and tinker around with it, and by all means have fun. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. Maybe. Hey, look at that.